another episode of Literary Gladiators.
Welcome.
The show where we discuss and debate literature in all of its forms. If it's written work, it's game. Let's meet the panel.
Andrew.
Kaila.
Charlie.
And Josh. Already, what are we going over today, Dan?
I Am Waiting by Lawrence Ferlinghetti.
Okay, he's the pioneer of the Beats movement. It all began at his bookstore, City Lights. So it is quite amazing. We're going over one of his works. And what is the topic that we're going to be talking about today?
Do you see this poem as a pioneering work of Beats literature, and if so, in what way?
That whole idea of challenging the status quo. I think that is, and it's in the form, and the way he does it, he has this a repetition that he uses, and he gives pretty funny examples, even though they're cleaner than Ginsberg.
I read it last night, and we're filming it today, so I'm a little tiny bit rusty on it. But when you question the status quo, it's like, for example, let's say we're in a high school home ec class or math class that we really don't have to take because we're not going to use that in life or whatnot. The triangle is actually round if you really think. Come on, really? No, but still, like, you want to question, like, why do I need to take this, and this in order to do this? Or why don't I need to do this in order to have that? I hope that was somewhat clear.
Okay.
95% want to say it's not usually clear, but kind of like a kid when he's hitting, the puberty, I guess you can say, and he's starting to question things like what's right, what's wrong. I mean, hard for me to digest.
What I thought was fantastic about this is that, like what Josh was saying with the repetition, I think that was used really to an excellent effect. Where, and when you say a word over and over again, it kind of doesn't really sound like the word at all anymore. This isn't like a metered poem, but with the cadence of the I am waiting and I am waiting, the echo, it changes the inflection of it. It keeps it, like, if you read this aloud, which I didn't, but I went on YouTube where somebody recites it, and when you're listening to it, it simultaneously it's urgent, but it's also polite.
It is an organized rant, yes.
It's like
An organized
because once
rant.
you hear like I am waiting for my case to come up, and I am waiting, it starts to sound different. It's like pleading, but it's being hopeful that the change is going to come about. But it's also there is also an urgency, but it's kind of like taking your time with the ideas every iteration. I don't know. It has a really good effect if you listen to it.
I would say it is very
Verbally.
effective.
I took it as a prayer midway through because it mentioned a lot of biblical.
There are a lot of biblical elements to it. I don't know if it's a
Well,
prayer.
I know it's not a prayer,
But
he
he inflicts a lot of modern ideas to biblical. For instance, one of my favorites is, I am waiting for the meek to be blessed and inherit the earth without taxes.
Yeah, it's excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's one of my
fantastic.
favorites.
Yeah.
And you have that idea that you're taking an old idea, applying it to today, and it can be interpreted either in allowing the taxpayer to inherit what they deserve, what they truly deserve, and what they truly pay for, and that's not quail sex research, but
okay.
that's what some of our, according to the earmarks, that's where some of our taxpayer money may go. But
And then you wonder why we cheat on them, some of us.
But otherwise, it's also that idea of the meek inheriting the earth without the taxes in the way that they do not turn into the person that they were fighting against.
Yeah, he's definitely about disrupting the system in this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Kaila?
So I think my problem with that is exactly that. He's all about disrupting the system, and yet it's years after this poem has been written, and we're still not really seeing any changes. And maybe that's just like the social justice warrior in me coming out, but like Beats literature and Beats poets can complain and write all they want, but that's not going to change anything.
It's
like if you
do something.
Yeah, you got to do more than just write some poetry on it. You got to do more than just say I'm unhappy. I'm waiting for things to change, because I've been waiting for a really long time too, and nothing's going to change unless we do something about it.
I've been waiting for a cookie that is absolutely zero carb, zero this, zero, but exactly the same effect.
There's been slight progression to, for instance, a lot of Ginsberg's poetry talks about championship of same-sex intercourse because he himself was openly gay. And the way that it was in the 50s, it's much different 60 years ago. There's a lot more that needs to be done, but it's better now than it was 60 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And
At least you can bring it up and talk about it, and it's being accepted. Back then, it was almost as if either it wasn't accepted or you felt you weren't allowed to accept it.
Right, and a lot of time, a lot of people would disown their child or what, and they would come out and say, "Mom, Dad, I'm gay," and what? Do you still love me? Do you still accept me? Personally, and I was thinking this over just a while ago, just for something completely other different, for some other thoughts and random stuff going through my head, and I heard something about someone disowning their kid and whatnot, and I'm driving my car, I'm like, if you disown your kid, it's kind of like murdering your kid. It's like, don't be a parent.
People disown their kids or parents would disown their children for other reasons too.
Well, yes. Yeah. I mean, disowning your child because your child decides to have a different lifestyle that's not the norm, then don't have a kid. And I don't mean that in a condescending way. I'm just saying that's something I hold to myself.
But otherwise, it's an interesting thing I would want to ask is, was there any particular line that really stuck out to you?
Oh yeah. I think right after he's waiting for the storm of life to be over, I am waiting to set sail for happiness, and I am waiting for a reconstructed Mayflower to reach America with its picture, story, and TV rights sold in advance to the natives.
Oh wow, that was
thought that was dope.
That
pretty.
out.
Yeah, I agree. I think that was probably my favorite part, just because it was so crystal clear and still so relevant so much later.
Yeah, it's such a statement too. Like, sold in advance.
Yeah.
Natives are prepared for.
I mean, it's coming in anyway.
Isn't that what they would do now? Like,
so
buy your tickets to the Mayflower.
Yeah, we already bought your culture.
Yep.
So
I would say the line. Did you want to go first, Charlie, or
what?
I was going to mention a line that stuck out to me.
I'm trying to. May I see this, please? I did this. Rather.
I'll tell you my
Mind
line.
you, I did not get much sleep last
Some
night.
of my favorite line. I would say, I'm waiting to see God on television piped onto church altars.
Well,
if only they
right
can
there.
find the right channel to tune in on.
Excellent.
That right there.
Yeah.
Goes
sold
to
me.
show you
I
there's a
remember that.
difference between televangelism and what God is really looking to say.
It's just the image too of of the TV at the altar.
It's in here.
It's
No, it's
kind of
here we go.
it's
And I
kind
also-
of impersonal.
And I also like that I'm seriously waiting for Billy Graham and Elvis Presley to exchange roles seriously.
Awesome.
Because they're two completely... Elvis Presley is a representative of modern culture, especially to when Ferlinghetti's writing this.
Yeah, especially at this time, it's pretty radical.
And Billy Graham is one of the most noteworthy evangelical figures in America. He's still alive today. but he.
Gotta love the writing style.
But at the same time, Billy Graham was a bit more. He had a bit more of that modern flair to him, and Elvis had some Christian roots, and
he did. I think Christian.
With gospel.
Obviously.
Yeah,
Gospel, thank you.
he sang gospel music, and it was there that it inspired him to get into music. But he also said that the Beatles were radical, and that the hippie movement was radical, which was quite something for somebody that shakes his pelvis during a time that was socially unacceptable to show on TV.
They called him Elvis the Pelvis.
And long hair was barely over the ear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you, I actually saw an old-fashioned, something at a barber shop, like maybe like something from the 50s or even early 60s, like how to properly. And usually I'm clean shaven. I like to shave. Have a clean shaven look.
Me
And
too.
get a chance. Yeah. But still, it grows for me. It grows back, and it's back, and I'm done with the razor. But still. Men should be properly shaved. It's kind of like something out of the service. Like you shower, you this, you that. I mean, it's your routine. For me, that's my routine. I shower. I'm not going to tell you what, but still, And then if hair was any lower, it's like, forget it. You're done. Nope.
And you were saying that you and Andrew had the same favorite.
Yeah, I really liked that part about selling the tickets to the natives for the Mayflower.
Mm-hmm.
And
Did you pick one, Charlie?
Yeah, you know what, and I'm going to just flat out say it was, and it speaks to me as well, when, with God coming out of the TV, but finding the right channel. For me...
Oh, so you agree with me.
I do, and the reason I agree with you is because it's one of the most realistic things I've heard today, and we've, wow, I feel like some of you are probably sitting there thinking, is he on drugs? No, he's not. He's thinking really hard, and that's why he's... smoke is coming out of my ears because I'm turning the gears too hard. But,
God is definitely going to blend in. If he would blend in the way he would want to blend in, even if it's just through a message, as opposed to this televangelist referring to socially inept people as heathens.
Right. And also, another thing I wanted to say, you have these pastors, and they have these really elaborate homes, and what's his name? Joel Osteen? Osteen.
Ostentatious steam.
I'm not prejudiced, but it's like maybe sell half the or sell the land and give, and not because I've seen this on Facebook. I've actually seen him speak on TV, and give money to the church. Give money to where's that money actually going? And I volunteer at a church every Sunday, and no churches don't pay taxes, but they do pay for other things like water and they think about how many people go into the bathroom. Trust me, as an usher, one of the head ushers, sometimes I do 2 masses back to back, and you got to say to yourself, the lights alone, the electric bill in a church, especially the bigger the church, the bigger the bill. And the church I have, it has a full-blown kitchen in the back, and then there's this huge hall where people dine and gather and whatnot on events, So, but still, you do have to get off the high horse and stop going on about money. And back in the 50s and 60s, priests were notorious for saying, we need more money, we have to do this, we have to do that. And it's actually died down a lot. Some people don't know that, but they were told, knock it off. You're losing people, And a fellow priest I know, he gives his sermon in 3 minutes, and I time it exactly. He said, what I was taught is if you can't say it 3 to 5 minutes tops, you haven't made your point. And but still.
That's especially a smart way to engage people,
Exactly.
certainly.
And he'll also include humor as well. He's very humorous.
Yeah, humor is definitely.
Yeah. He said God has a sense of humor because, I don't know exactly. What
Yeah, I can say that much. The father at my local church is known for telling jokes, whether they are related or just him coming up with something.
Yeah. There's a time and a place for everything. I'll just put it that way.
Okay. Does anybody have any final thoughts?
Great poem. Yeah.
I agree. I'm going to be rereading it again with fresher eyes because, like I said, I read this last night, 12 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, I want to be ready tomorrow. Pick out that line, Charlie. You will make it.
I do want to
I also recommend hearing it recited too.
Okay.
Just
yeah.
By anyone or by
you know what?
Yeah.
I wish I had a name on hand. It was like the first YouTube search. It came up right away, and it was fantastic.
I'll leave a link down to that below. If you are aware of the specific one. But
it was easy to find. Yeah.
Here is his collection, A Coney Island of the Mind, poems by Lawrence Ferlinghetti, and this is quite interesting. The different.
My dad
everything
loved
that's
Coney Island. He would always go there when he was a kid.
Technically, the Coney Island in this in his poem is not the place, but more so it's the state of mind, as he mentions.
Because Coney Island is a paradise if you think about it.
Yep, I agree with that.
When roller coasters didn't really break on their first try.
Already then. Be sure to join us next time for another episode of Gladiators. For now, keep reading.